Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Speaking of Zane. July the 18th it is already. July the 18th, my goodness. Here, I need to adjust my camera here. There we go. That's a little better. Let's get it. Way too much. You can see my wrinkles there. Let me back up. I do have beautiful blue eyes, though. Let me back up just a bit there. I don't want my face too big on the internet. There we go. Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Speaking of Zane, July the 18th, 153rd edition of Speaking of Zane here on Sunday night. We're back on Sunday night, and probably have a quick session tonight as we go through and chronicle some of the activities and events we've had as a group, and some of the challenges that we've been partaking of, and just any general updates about what's going on in the world of veterans and whatnot. So good to have everybody in there. Let me just do a quick little roll call here and see who we've got. Oh, there's Matt Aaron, one of Zane's battle buddies. Mike Kufrovich, one of my battle buddies from way back in the day. Ken Pesic down in Punta Gorda. Daryl up in the St. Louis area. Daryl, you made it home from church in time. I'm glad. Lori is in there. Aunt Paula is in there. Hello, Aunt Paula. I think back home down in the Tampa Bay area. I always forget, Aunt Paula, forgive me, exactly where you're at. I should write it down, but I know you are in the vicinity down there. But glad to have you in here. Katie Aaron is in there as well. Hey, Katie, up in Michigan. So good crowd tonight. Thank you guys for always joining us. It's become a standard part of our week, and one that I look forward to greatly each week. Odessa, that's right, Aunt Paula, Odessa. All right, well, let's see what we got going on. Well, nothing that we've done this week, over the last week, maybe over the last months, could rival the last few hours of today. These last few hours of today, Lori and I got to spend with our Virginia grandkids, and including Zane's children, Colton and Paisley, and just had a great time at like an arcade place, and they got to play games and stuff, and then we went and had some dinner, and just great to see them. We only get to see them I'd say maybe once a year we get to see them face to face, sometimes twice a year, I guess. And with COVID and everything, everything was so unpredictable over the last year and a half. And but Abby and the kids are down here for a few weeks while the kids are out of school. So her parents live down here also. And anyway, so we just had a great time hanging out with them, and just seeing how they've grown. And Zane's oldest son, Colton, is 9. He turned 9 back at the end of March. And little Miss Paisley is, oh gosh, how old is Paisley? Almost 7. Oh, her birthday's this week. Her birthday is in 3 days. Paisley is. And trust me, she didn't let us forget that fact. And I think we will see them again this week at some point. And she'll be 7 on, I think it's Wednesday of this week. She made sure to let us know she had 3 days to her birthday. So she is an incredible young lady. Just an awesome little girl. And Colton couldn't be growing up any better. It's amazing. And their little brothers, Bear and Kai, are absolute pistols. And Lori kept track of 5 little ones. And when I see Abby, Abby, they have 6 between them, Abby and Will, and she only had the 4 of them with her today, but just to watch the orchestration that has to occur to make sure that no one is killed or injured on a standard outing or lost. It's an amazing orchestration, but they those kids wore us out this afternoon. But wow, it was great to see them. I know Lori has. I haven't had a chance to pause, but I think Lori has been posting a few pictures maybe along the way today. But I'll do some later. But anyway, a great time, and I think the plan is that we'll see them again this week. Okay, well, let's see what else we got going here. And who has joined? Let's see, nobody. Okay, I thought I saw somebody. Oh, Patrick Reeve, my good buddy from work and Army veteran. Hello, Patrick. Good to have you in there, buddy. Patrick actually is down in the Tampa Bay area as well. Jonathan Peters is in there. Hey, Jonathan, another one of Zane's battle buddies. Good to have you in here. Let's see, what else? Let's see, we got out and about, did a little exploring yesterday. Georgia's full of history. I don't know, every state's full of history, but we're discovering that Georgia is full of history, and we get out and see it periodically. We did yesterday. Went to a little town called Cedartown. You can see a bunch of pictures on my Facebook page, but we went to a little Veterans Memorial Park they have there in Cedartown, Georgia, which is not too far from the Alabama border, just west of here. Yeah, west of here. Anyway, they have a lot of little towns throughout Georgia. They have a Veterans Memorial Park, and they had one there, and they had a monument honoring Medal of Honor recipient Sergeant Ray McKibben, United States Army, received the Medal of Honor posthumously for action in Vietnam. And I did a little research, and he was actually not from Cedartown. He was not born in Cedartown. He was not even born in the county, Polk County. So I'm not sure of his connection with Cedartown, but they have a monument in his honor there at the Veterans Memorial Park. So I thought that was kind of cool. It's always interesting to come across a Medal of Honor, anything to do with Medal of Honor recipient. But that was interesting. Let's see what else we got coming up. I just found out today. Well, I'll talk about that. I'll talk about that when we get to the organizations section. But I did want to mention, and I think all my Air Force buddies probably saw this by now, but the aircraft that we all flew on, the EC-135C, tail number 049, that we all flew the Looking Glass mission on, has been undergoing restoration for what, guys, about the last 10 years or so, and it's finally complete to the point where they actually took it out of the restoration hangar and actually put it in the museum. It's an official exhibit in the Strategic Air Command Museum there just outside of Omaha. Now, I've been up there I've seen it under restoration several times over the last 5, 6, 7 years, but it is complete. The restoration is complete, and it's an actual exhibit, and the reason I bring it up is they opened the aircraft up last night, because it's been restored inside and out, but they opened the aircraft up last night, kind of short notice for people to come and walk through, and several of my buddies that we all flew together were able to go out there and walk through the aircraft, and they posted a bunch of pictures, and just an incredible thing to see the culmination of something like that. Something you spent your youth in. I mean, 10 years of my life, 11 years, 3 months and 15 days to be exact, was spent associated with that mission and flying that mission, and just a foundational part of my life. And I know I speak for my pals when I talk fondly about the mission. We probably didn't think we probably what am I looking for? The sentiment I'm looking for is we didn't realize at the time just what we were a part of in the moment. It was just like we were doing another Air Force job. But that was all through our 20s and 30s, some of us on up to maybe almost 40. But anyway, another good reason to get back up to Omaha sometime and walk through the plane. So well done, guys. Thanks. I had several guys text me last night and saw a lot of the posts, and it was great to see that. Now, Daryl and I, when Daryl and I went up there for Todd Vanderwerken's funeral, we got a chance to get out to the museum, and we got a chance to walk around the exterior of the aircraft, but they had it locked up at the time, so we didn't get to go on board. Okay, let's see. Speaking of Air Force buddies, I'm enjoying Steve and Kathy Shirley's pictures of Iceland. Wow, amazing. They're posting pictures just about every day, I believe, and they've been on a cruise. They've been on a cruise that leaves Reykjavik and does some kind of crazy tour in and around Iceland, but I'm enjoying that. So I'm not sure they're back. I haven't really been on Facebook at all today, but I'm not sure when they're coming back. But miss him when he's not here, but I'm glad him and Kathy are out having a good time. Okay, let's see if I'm missing anything in the chat. Let's see. Mike says, that is so awesome. Ken says, I need to get back up to Omaha to see it in its glory. Yeah, Ken. You know, I know that there's going to be some sort of official unveiling or something, Ken. I know they want to do something formal. And I know a lot of folks are kind of waiting on that to sort of congregate and meet in Omaha and make it a reunion. So I'm all for holding out and making it a coordinated effort. We'll see how it goes. Let's see. Daryl says, yes, it's amazing to see 049 in pristine condition. Well, you know what? It's interesting because it's in much better condition now than it was when we flew it. we were flying it in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the airframes were all built in the late 50s, early 60s. So we were flying, planes. My window of time, we're flying airplanes that were over 20 years old already. But let's see, there's Brenda Lusk up in Michigan. Koof says, yeah, it was a big deal, guy. Yeah, it was a big deal, Koof, what we did there. Kind of, knew what we were part of. I knew, I knew that our mission was, if our daily missions became the real thing, or as a result of an incoming strike, that was pretty much it. If we were able to come back and land, we wouldn't have anything left there to come home to. But it was an interesting time, the whole mutually assured destruction concept and whatnot. But there's Terry Bass, speaking of Cold Warriors. Hello, Terry. Yeah, 1963, I think Terry says. So that makes 049 and me the same year. Yeah, I need to look back at my my encyclopedia of C-135s. Anyway, okay, good to have everybody in here. Let's see if there's anything left. A couple of weekends. See, we're still not this coming weekend, but the next we'll be doing the Running to Honor 5K. I saw that our friend Aaron Bartle up there in Michigan is shipping all the shirts and stuff out tomorrow. So those of you that registered that are going to run or walk with us should be getting your shirts this week. And anybody that's local that wants to go with us, there's still time. I mean, you don't have to register. Just come out there and walk with us, bring a flag or something. We're going to be doing it in Woodstock, Georgia. All right, let's see. That's it for the preamble. Hat of the week. Well, hat of the week, Lori and I just walked in the door. Just walked in the door. And, of course, I didn't have a designated hat of the week, so I just threw this one on, and because I like it. So for no particular reason, this subdued American flag is the hat of the week. Okay, let's see what we got here. I did not pull any this week in military history, so if anybody knows of any significant events that occurred in history this last week or coming week and want to post them in the chat, feel free to do that because I fell down on my duty there to pull any this week in military history. I often do that on Sunday morning when I'm having my coffee, but I did not do that today. But I did get a chance to count up some of the visits, the veteran cemetery visits that we made, and some of the thank a veteran that we made. And I think I'm accurate when I say that Daryl made a visit to Jefferson Barracks. And Daryl, I saw your post. I take it back. I did get a notification whenever you post anything, and I saw that you paid a visit to that veteran Marine. I think he's a Marine veteran that just passed there, who was involved in all of the logistics and activities there at Jefferson Barracks. So good on you for that. So Daryl made a visit. I mentioned Lori and I were up in Cedartown, Georgia, and we did find right next to the Veterans Memorial Park, there was a cemetery called Greenwood Cemetery, and I noticed there were quite a number of veterans buried there. In fact, I found a World War II veteran, that was killed in World War II, and a Vietnam veteran that was killed in Vietnam, buried there. So I'll count that visit, and so so I'm going to say that's 2 visits for the week, and that gives us 1 new cemetery. So I need to update the map, by the way. And I haven't posted that map in some time. Maybe when I get around to updating that map with Greenwood Cemetery, I'll post a link to that map, and it should reflect the fact that we have made 443 visits to 135 different. I guess it'll be 135 different cemeteries. So how about that? 443. I guess 500 will be our next milestone for the Veterans Cemetery Challenge. I do need to update the map. I think I'm probably 5 cemeteries non-current on the map. So I need to get around to that for sure. Let's see. Yeah, Ken, what is that all about? Let's see. Ken's got a link to, looks like a post there about a World War II veteran's 100th birthday. I saw a couple of those this week. Those that are still around are in the 99, 100. I mean, think about it. What, Pearl Harbor, this is the 80th anniversary of Pearl Harbor, right? So I guess if somebody was 17 on Pearl Harbor Day, they would be 97. So 97, 98 is probably about the minimum age of a World War II veteran, where we sit in time. I'll take a look at that, Ken. And Jonathan's got a post in there about the American Heritage Museum. I'll check that out too, Jonathan. I'm a big museum nut. That one's in, where's that one at? Hudson, Mass? All armor, okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I have not even been to the infantry, what do they call it, the National Infantry Museum in Columbus. And I know it's coming up on probably 10 years old now. Well, maybe just less than 10 years old, but it's a relatively new museum there in Columbus, or in Fort Benning, but I've not been. But I know it is a world-class museum, that infantry museum. I've seen nothing but good things about that. I'll have to, maybe I'll have my dad come over there and meet me for a day, and we go through the museum together. That'd be fun. All right, well, let's move on to the Thank a Vet challenge. We've got, wow, we had another good week. out and about in our daily lives, going to work, going to school, going to church, going to the grocery store, going to get gas. We're running into veterans, military members, law enforcement officers, and you know what? Not just the fact that we're running into them, we're taking a moment and we're saying, "Thank you, by golly, I appreciate you for what you do or what you've done for this country." And think about it, a veteran, that's somebody that signed a blank check, right? That's somebody that gave a period of time, to the country, and they said, "Hey, I'm yours. Do whatever." And a lot of, we didn't have a lot of choice in a lot of the things that we were asked to do. Um, that's a significant thing to honor and to appreciate and to thank. Somebody that was willing to give a portion of their life in service to the country. It's amazing. I know I haven't heard the whole story yet, but when we were with the kids tonight, the grandkids, um, Colton was talking to Lori, to his Grammy, and they were talking about things. And he's just the most patriotic young man. And I don't know how the conversation went, but Lori said, "Guy, Colton says that he wants to serve our country," or something like that. And that's a young man who's 9 years old and is already thinking that he wants to serve the country. Now, he um, he has two daddies, Zane, that was in the Army, and now his daddy, Will, who's in the Navy. And I think it was last year on Veterans Day or at Christmas maybe, he put a picture, or he put the military emblem for each branch, I think it was, on the trap. Can't remember exactly what. But anyway, he's aware enough to know that both the Army and the Navy. But anyway, just an interesting young man Colton is, and as he begins to get older, I hope that he has a little. He was 4 when his dad passed away, and then within the next year or year and a half, he really had a new dad, Will, and that's he spent the last 5 years with Will. So of course we naturally just worry that he won't ever know anything about Zane, and we're very careful and don't want to rush anything. But I hope that he asks about Zane. He's aware of Zane. He knows about Zane. He's asked about Zane, but I just hope over time he'll have an interest in knowing about him. And like I've mentioned before, I have a lot of things of his dad's to eventually give him, when the time is right. And in fact, tonight I gave him. You all know this. You all know about these coins because most of you have one. The coin I designed with the Speaking of Zane logo and everything. Well, I gave him one of these tonight, and wow, he was blown away. He was blown away, and he said, "This is so special." So anyway, we'll see how things progress. Okay, let's see. So where are we at? We are at the Thank a Vet Channel. What got me off on that? I can't. What got me? Thanking veterans, I guess. Anyway, let's see. Ken is getting a little preemptive here and said Aunt Paula is rocking it again this week, and he is correct because Ken watches the Facebook group, and whenever Aunt Paula thanks the veterans, she does such a great job of letting us know so that we can calculate it and celebrate it. And she did a great job again this week. And let me see. I'll start out. I had one. I was at the Kroger, go figure, just a few days ago, and ran into a guy quite a bit older than me with an Air Force hat on, and we struck up a conversation. And it turns out he served over 30 years in the Air Force, and anyway, we had a good chat, and then Ken, I know you thanked a Navy vet, I think at the Sam's, getting gas at the Sam's Club, and a great account of that, as Ken always does in the Speaking of Zane Facebook group. And then my cousin Cindy and her son Harley, who sometimes join us here on occasion. They were down on vacation somewhere on the Gulf Coast. I don't know if they were in near Biloxi or somewhere, but anyway, they thanked a couple of active duty service members and posted about that. And then Aunt Paula coming in in the lead. Not that we're keeping score, not that it's competitive or anything, but Aunt Paula just gets herself positioned in the right place. She's an active young woman, and so she's out and about in her community. She thanked 6 Newport Richey police officers. I wonder if it was the same 6 as last week, Aunt Paula, or was it a different 6? Um, and then let's see, she thanked a Navy vet, 2 Air Force vets, and an Army vet. So I think I got the count right, Paula, when I say 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 thank yous this week from Paula Pittman down there in Florida. Thank you so much for chronicling that. And I know you would be doing that even without speaking of Zane. So it's just great that we can call you a part of our team and add your thank yous to our score. So a great week for just telling people that we appreciate them and acknowledging their service, whether it's in law enforcement or first responder or certainly in the military. And I mean, geez, it's the least we can do. I tell you, if you read some of Aunt Paula's accounts and Lori as well, and Lori has been in the game of thanking law enforcement officers with the cards that she hands out, and these police officers are timid. They are. Can you imagine having to be always on the sharp, always on your toes, always aware of everything that's going on around you? Uh, I mean, can you imagine being at a point where you force yourself not to believe anything anybody tells you because criminals lie? And can you imagine being in that world where you have to scrutinize and be skeptical of everything? And I think that's the way police officers have gotten. It's hardened some of them. I know it has. And when Aunt Paula, when she, one time I remember her describing that they were timid or, didn't quite know. Lori was the same way. They were hesitant to accept the card that says thank you on it, And it's a sad thing. But anyway, it's something that maybe we did it more, it wouldn't be such a shock to them, right? And can you imagine the whole squeaky wheel thing? You got all these people screaming about law enforcement and stuff, and I don't blame them for being a little bit jaded right now. But okay, well, let's see. So that was 14 for the week, and our thank you count is getting up there. I think we have a legitimate shot at hitting the 1,000 mark before the end of the summer. I was saying that as a kind of a stretch goal because we had a pretty good ways to go yet when we entered the summer, but we're at 916. 916. So we just need what is that? 80? So 84 or so, or not even that. Yeah, 84. 84, let's see, 6 would be 90 and 10 would be 1,000. So yeah, and that's absolutely doable if we keep knocking them out at like 10 and 14 and 20 a week. So, and 1,000 will be our next major milestone. That's pretty good. So thank you guys for doing that along with us. I know you guys would do it even without speaking to Zane. I don't want to make it sound like we're taking credit for any of that because you guys are all patriots and would do that anyway. But it's nice to do it together, isn't it? It's a great feeling to be out there and saying thank you. And I think what are we 3 weeks into 2 weeks left in July, and then all of August, and 6 weeks or so I think we certainly got a good shot at hitting the 1,000 mark. So that's something to be proud of for sure. In a relatively short period of time, I might add. Okay, let's see. What else do we have here? Organizations. I got a new thing to announce. I almost mentioned it early on, but there's an organization I just became aware of yesterday because they're They're going to have an exhibit here in our little town of Ackworth, Georgia. Believe it or not, we're north of Atlanta, a little bit northwest of Atlanta, um, and it's called the organization is called, and you can go look it up. And in fact, I'll share something in the Speaking of Zane Facebook group later. But it's an organization called Eyes of Freedom Lima Company Memorial. So it's Eyes of Freedom Lima Company Memorial, and it's just a traveling memorial honoring a group of Marines from Lima Company that were killed in a battle in Iraq back about 2005, I think it was. But anyway, they've got a traveling memorial to these Marines, and it's as much to honor the service and sacrifice of these fallen Marines as it is to raise awareness of the service and sacrifice that veterans make. And now they're really getting into raising awareness of the 22 that commit suicide a day. And so they're actually coming here. So on the 28th of July, it's a Wednesday in the afternoon, they're having like a rally gathering at Semper Fi Bar and Grill, our favorite little tavern run by, owned and operated by our friend Ralph Roger, United States Marine Corps retired. And so they are gathering. It's a big semi truck full of display and everything, but they're gathering at Semper Fi Bar and Grill on the Wednesday afternoon, I think about 4 o'clock. And then they're going to motorcycle from Semper Fi over here to our little town in Ackworth. Where they're going to set up the display. And I don't know how long it's going to be set up here. I couldn't figure that out on their Facebook page. But anyway, that's the 28th, so it's a couple weeks away. And that'd be fun. I mean, that's a great thing right there. There's another organization that is seeking to honor the fallen and raise awareness. But I can't think of two better things to do: honor the fallen and raise awareness. And anyway, so we'll try to take some pictures of that and maybe even do a little live stream, or certainly capture some video or something that we could share with you all. But that'll be fun coming up in a couple of weeks. So yet another group that we now know about on our list of organizations. So if you know of any, and you or hear of any or affiliated with any and want to share, let me know, and we certainly do that. Okay, let's see. Aunt Paula says, I'm reasonably sure it blesses me more than it does the veterans and or law enforcement officers. Well, it's a two-way street, isn't it, Aunt Paula? What is it? It's better to give than receive, right? We got a lot of a lot of great words from the Bible that ring true for sure. And that's a great example of how you give, you get. And it is a blessing when you can tell someone thank you, or you can help someone. It certainly is. Like Gary Sinise said in his book, service is a great healer. If you have a broken heart, help someone else, and your whole life will be different. That's coming from Gary Sinise. But all right, well, let's see. We did have a couple of incidents this week. One tragedy: a Louisiana National Guardsman Specialist Bernard Criquet was struck by a car and killed while deployed serving near the U.S.-Mexican border. I don't know the detailed circumstances. I can't even remember. Well, he was a Louisiana National Guardsman, but I don't remember exactly what town he was from. But just a sad thing for sure. And then on a more positive incident that occurred this week, there was a Navy helicopter with a crew of 4 that crashed near Mount Hogue, California, Northern California, while they were searching for a lost hiker. So they crashed their helicopter searching for a lost hiker they were all rescued. All four crew members in the Navy helicopter were rescued the next morning. So that's a positive outcome there, but could have been so much worse for sure. But that was the only two incidents that I'm aware of this week. Of course, I don't catch everything, and I don't pretend to know everything. But anyway, those are the two that I saw. But let me take a quick look at the chat here and see if anybody else has joined or if anybody else. Okay, let's see. I think that is it. I don't know if they found the hiker or not. I didn't see in the story, but I hope they did. Speaking of hiking, our daughter Charlotte, the FBI employee, had the week off, and she has been traveling throughout the state of Georgia. She went up to the north coast of Whidbey Island, Washington, which is in the Puget Sound, north of Seattle, well north of Seattle. There's a state park up there called Deception Pass State Park, just absolutely beautiful up there. They went camping up there, and then she left there a couple of days ago, and they went across the state of Washington from west to east. And when she got over the Cascade Mountains, she said, "Dad, Washington is totally different out here." And I'm like, "Yeah, it is one of the most diverse states from west to east of any other state, in my opinion. You have not tropical. You have rainforest like conditions on the Pacific coast of Washington and a mountain range there, the Olympia mountain range. Then you have the Puget Sound, and then you have the Cascade Mountains, snow-peaked mountains, and then you go into high plain desert out in Spokane. It's an interesting, the difference in the topology and the weather and everything. It's an amazing. Anyway, so she's out near Grand Coulee Dam. So she's her friend's family has a house out on the lake near Grand Coulee Dam. So she's sending me all these pictures that are just absolutely out of this universe, beautiful. And she's like, "It's not so bad up here, Dad." So I'm glad that she's getting along nicely up there. And so I think she gets back to work tomorrow or the next day. But she has earned a well-deserved break there. She's been involved in a lot of great things up there since she was assigned to the FBI office in Seattle. She's been involved in some really important pieces of activity that have been a little bit scary, but she's okay and is just doing a great job. Okay, let's see. Matt and Katie loved Washington. They were at, what is it, Joint Base Lewis McChord, I think, when you guys were there probably. All right, JT Collier's in there, my buddy Doc from work, and a great guy, and lives in Nashville, but he's from Georgia. So good to have you in there, and glad you stopped by when you do there, Doc. I miss seeing you, man. This whole COVID thing has really cramped our style. As JT and I were really just getting to know each other over his first year here with our company, and we have a lot in common, a lot to talk about, a lot to share, and we hadn't been able to see each other face to face for over a year, and I miss that. But there's my Aunt Cindy down in Alabama. Hey, Aunt Cindy Pittman, how are you? Cindy Pittman Knighton. I've known her my whole life as well. All right, let's see. I think that may be it. I don't see any additional comments in the chat, and nobody new joined there. But I can't tell you thank you enough for joining us here every Sunday night, sometimes Monday night, just to hear us say Zane's name, talk about Zane. They say that a person dies twice, once when they take their last breath, then again if their name's no longer spoken, and we don't want that to happen. And part of the way we're not going to let that happen is through speaking of Zane. So we appreciate you guys riding along with us on that journey, friends, family, Thank you so much. And don't forget, and I don't have to tell you this, but if you're going through your week and you're out and about, tell a veteran thanks or somebody that's serving or a law enforcement officer. They don't hear it enough. I guarantee you they don't hear it enough. And when you tell someone thank you for something, boy, you just don't know the impact that you might have on that person. It's an amazing thing. It's a powerful thing. It's something we have. We have so much power when we can tell somebody thank you or I appreciate you. I don't do it enough. I don't remember enough, even with my own family. But it's something to be aware of, and to it's power. It's a piece of power. It's a powerful thing that we've got that we can use to help someone else and lift someone else. And anyway, I think I'm talking to myself as much as I am anybody else. But thank you all for being with us. Kofi, good to have you in there, my friend. Always good. I can't wait to get back up there to Omaha. Maybe our trips will align sometime when we can go visit 049. But let's see, Lori has have a great. Lord, everybody's bailing. Lori has a story to share. Let's see. I have a story to share about something. So let's see. Lori says she has a story to share about something. I don't know what that word is, but I will pause for a minute. Later. Okay. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us tonight, and have a great week. We'll look forward to seeing you again next Sunday night for Speaking of Zane, and maybe we can ratchet that thank you count closer to 1,000, and maybe Steve and Kathy will be back and can share a little bit about Iceland with us. But all right, everybody, have a great week. Make it count, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next Sunday night for Speaking of Zane.